Good morning. Today in group theory, we will study modulo system. What is actually modulo system? It is a common experience that railway timetable is fixed with provision of 24 hours in a day and night. When we say that a particular train is arriving at 15 hours, it implies that a train arriving at 3 p.m. according to our watch. Thus, all the timings starting from 12 to 23 hours correspond to 1 of 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 11 o'clock as indicated in watches. In other words, all the integers from 12 to 23 are equivalent to integers 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 11 respectively with modulo 12. In saying like this, the integers in question are divided into 12 classes. Similarly, integers could be divided into 2 classes and we write it as mod 2. Into 5 classes, we write it as mod 5, and into m classes, we write it as mod m, where m is a positive integer. This system of representation is called modulo system. We write additional modulo m as a plus b, and we write m in the suffix of addition sign plus, where a and b are integers and m is a fixed integer. So additional modulo m of a and b is equal to r, where r is the least non-negative remainder when a plus b is divided by m. R is always strictly less than m, and it may be equal to 0 or greater than 0. For example, additional modulo 6 of 5 and 3 is 2, because 5 plus 3 is 8, and when we divide 8 by 6, the remainder is 2. Additional modulo 7 of 5 and 2 is 0, because when we add 5 and 2, the result is 7, and when we divide 7 by 7, the remainder is 0. Additional modulo 3 of 4 and 2 is 0, because 4 plus 2 is 6, and when we divide 6 by 3, the remainder is 0. Additional modulo 3 of 3 and 1 is 1, because when we add 3 and 1, we get 4, and when we divide 4 by 3, the remainder is 1. Additional modulo 5 of 15 and 7 is 2, because 15 plus 7 is 22, and when we divide 22 by 5, the remainder is 2. Thus, to find additional modulo m of a and b, we add a and b in the ordinary way, and then from the sum, we remove integral multiple of m in such a way the remainder r is either 0 or a positive integer less than m. When a and b are fixed integers such that a minus b is divisible by a fixed integer m, then we write a is congruent to b mod m. Thus, a is congruent to b mod m if a minus b is divisible by m. For example, 13 is congruent to 3 mod 5, because 13 minus 3 is 10 and 10 is divisible by 5. 5 is congruent to 5 mod f5, because 5 minus 5 is 0 and 0 is divisible by 5. 16 minus 4 is 12 and 12 is divisible by 6. Therefore, we write 16 is congruent to 4 mod 6. Similarly, minus 20 is congruent to 4 modulo 6, because minus 20 minus 4 is minus 24 and minus 24 is divisible by 6. Now we come to multiplication modulo p. We write multiplication modulo p as a with multiplication sign in between a and b and p in the suffix of multiplication sign, where a and b are integers and p is a fixed integer. So multiplication modulo p of a and b is equal to r, where r is the least non-negative remainder when ab is divided by p. So multiplication modulo 6 of 5 and 3 is 3, because when we multiply 5 and 3, we get 15, and when we divide 15 by 6, the remainder is 3. Multiplication modulo 7 of 5 and 2 is 3, because when we multiply 5 and 2, we get 10, and when we divide 10 by 7, the remainder is 3. Multiplication modulo 3 of 4 and 2 is 2, because when we multiply 4 and 2, we get 8, and when we divide 8 by 3, the remainder is 2. Multiplication modulo 2 of 3 and 1 is 1, because 3 into 1 is 1, and when we divide 3 by 2, the remainder is 1. Multiplication modulo 5 of 5 and 7 is 0, because 5 into 7 is 35, and when we divide 35 by 5, the remainder is 0. Thus, to find multiplication modulo P of A and B, we multiply A and B in ordinary way, and then from the product we remove integral multiple of P in such a way the remainder R is either 0 or positive integer less than 0. Clearly, if we write A is congruent to B mod P, then multiplication modulo P of A and C is equal to multiplication modulo P of B and C. Now we will demonstrate that the set G equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 is a finite abelian group of order 5 with respect to additional modulo 5. For this, we will use a composition table because the number of elements in a group is finite. So to construct a composition table, we will write the elements of G in the top border row and in left border row, like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the top border row and right border row. And the binary operation here is additional modulo 5, and we will write it in the extreme left corner. To write the elements of first row, we will multiply the elements of top border row, add, because the operation is additional modulo 5. So we will add 0 to the elements of top border row, and then we will divide the resulting number by 5 and write the remainder in first row. So if we add 0 to 0, the resulting number is 0. If we divide it by 5, the remainder is 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. When we divide it by 5, the resulting remainder is 1. Similarly, 0 plus 2 is 2. The remainder will come to be 2. 0 plus 3 is 3. Remainder will again be 3. 0 plus 4 is 4. The remainder will be 4 when we divide it by 5. To write the elements of second row, we will add 1 to each element in the top border row and then divide the resulting number by 5 and write the remainder in second row. So 1 plus 0 is 1. When we divide 1 by 5, the remainder will be 1. 1 plus 1 equal to 2, the remainder will be 2. 1 plus 2 is 3, the remainder will be 3. 1 plus 3 is 4, the remainder will be 4. 1 plus 4 is 5. When we divide 5 by 5, the remainder will be 0. 2 plus 0 is 2. So when we divide 2 by 5, the remainder will be 2. 2 plus 1 is 3, the remainder will be 3. 2 plus 2 is 4, the remainder is 4. 2 plus 3 is 5. When we divide 5 by 5, the remainder will be 0. 2 plus 4 is 6. When we divide 6 by 5, the remainder is 1. So to write the elements of third row, we add 2 to each element in the top border row and then divide the resulting number by 5 and write the element in the third row. To write the elements of third row, we add 3 to elements of top border row and then divide the resulting number by 5 and write the remainders in fourth row. So 3 plus 0 is 3, the remainder will be 3. 3 plus 1 is 4, the remainder will be 4. 3 plus 2 is 5. When we divide 5 by 5, the remainder will be 0. 3 plus 3 is 6. When we divide 6 by 5, the remainder will be 1. 3 plus 4 is 7. When we divide 7 by 5, the remainder is 2. 4 plus 0 is 4. When we divide 4 by 5, the remainder is 5. 4 plus 1 is 5. When we divide 5 by 5, the remainder is 0. 4 plus 2 is 6. When we divide 6 by 5, the remainder will be 1. 4 plus 3 is 7. When we divide 7 by 5, the remainder is 2. 4 plus 4 is 8. When we divide 8 by 5, the remainder is 3. So, to write the elements of fifth row, we have added 4 to elements of top border row and then divided the resulting number by 5, and we have written the remainders here. Now we observe in the composition table that fifth row is not identical with the top border row because element in the fifth row are 4, 0, 1, 2 and 3, and elements in the top border row are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So these two rows are not identical. Similarly, fourth row is also not identical with the top border row. Third row is also not identical with the top border row. Second row is also not identical with the top border row. But first row is identical with the top border row because elements in the first row and top border row are 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. An element on the extreme left of the row which is identical with the top border row is 0. This 0 is called the identity element of a group. Now we locate this identity element in each row. In first row, the identity element is in the first column. In second row, identity element is in the fourth column. In third row, identity element is in the fourth column. In fourth row, identity element is in the third column. And in fifth row, identity element is in the second column. After locating these identity elements, we mark these identity elements. I have marked it by red color. You may encircle these identity elements in your notebooks. This will help us to find the elements inverse of each elements of a group. So to find the inverse of 0, we will see that 0 is in the first row and first column. An element above 0 in the top border row is 0. So inverse of 0 is 0. To find the inverse of 1, we see that our identity element is in the last column. An element above 0 in the last column is 4 in the top border row. So inverse of 1 is 4. To find the inverse of 2, we have identity element in fourth column. So element above 0 in the fourth column is 3 in the top border row. So inverse of 2 is 3. To find the inverse of 3, we have 0 in the third column and element above 0 in the third column is 2 in the top border row. So inverse of 3 is 2. To find the inverse of 4, we have identity element in second column and element above second column in top border row is 1. So inverse of 4 is 1. One more thing we observe that elements of the diagonal elements of the table are 0, 2, 4, 1 and 3. Element on the right of 0 in the first row are 1, 2, 3, 4. Element below 0 in the first column are 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are same elements. Now the second diagonal element is 2. Element on the left in the second row are in the right. Elements in the right in second row are 3, 4 and 0. And elements below 2 in the second column are 3, 4, 0, which are same. Now third diagonal element is 4. Element on the right of 4 are 0 and 1 in third row and 0 and 1 in third column below 4. These are also same. Now fourth Diagonal element is 1. Element towards its right is 2. Below it is also 2. So this composition table is symmetrical about the main diagonal. So now we come to the properties of a group. Since each element in the table belongs to the set G, so G is closed with respect to additional modulo 5. The elements of G satisfy associativity with respect to addition modulo 5, as the additional modulo 5 is always associative. Since our first row of the table is identical with the top border row, the 0 on the extreme left side of this row is the identity element in G. See, in first row is identical with the top border row, and element on its extreme left in the left border row, it is 0. So 0 is our identity element. Now the existence of inverse. Inverse of 0 is 0. Inverse of 1 is 4. Inverse of 2 is 3. Inverse of 3 is 2. Inverse of 4 is 1. This is done by locating the identity elements in each row and each column, and then locating the elements on the extreme left and in the top border row. So inverse of 0 is 0. Inverse of 1 is 4. Inverse of 2 is 3. Inverse of 3 is 2. And inverse of 4 is 1. Since the composition table is symmetrical about the main diagonal, additional modulo 5 is commutative in G. Number of elements in a group G is 5. Hence, the group G equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 is a finite abelian group of order 5 with respect to additional modulo 5. Now we will do one more example and demonstrate that the set G equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is a finite abelian group of order 6 with respect to multiplication modulo 7. Now the operation is multiplication modulo 7. Here also the number of elements in a group are finite. So we will use composition table to demonstrate that it is a group and it is a abelian group. So first of all we will construct a composition table. For this we will write the elements of a group in the top border row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and in the left border row. We will write the binary operation multiplication modulo 7 on the extreme left corner. To construct or write the elements in first row, we will multiply elements of the top border row by 1 and then divide the resulting element so obtained by 7. So 1 into 1 is 1, and if we divide it by 7, the remainder is 1. 1 into 2 is 2, and if we divide it by 7, the remainder is 2. If we multiply 1 by 3, the remainder will be 3. If we multiply 1 by 4, the remainder will be 4. 1 into 5 is 5, the remainder is 5. 1 into 6 is 6, the remainder is 6. To write the elements of second row, we will multiply the elements of top border row by 2 and then divide the resulting number by 7. So 2 into 1 is 2. When we divide it by 7, the remainder is 2. 2 into 2 is 4, the remainder is 4. 2 into 3 is 6, the remainder is 6. 2 into 4 is 8. When we divide 8 by 7, the remainder is 1. When we divide 2 by 5, 2 5s are 10. When we divide it by 7, the remainder is 3. 2 6 are 12. When we divide 12 by 7, the remainder is 5. To write the elements of third row, we multiply the elements of top border row by 3 and then divide the resulting element by 7. So 3 into 1 is 3. When we divide it by 7, the remainder is 3. 3 2s are 6. The remainder will be 6. 3 3s are 9. When we divide 9 by 7, the remainder will be 2. 3 4s are 12. When we divide 12 by 7, the remainder is 5. 3 5s are 15. When we divide 15 by 7, the remainder is 1. 3 6 are 18. When we divide 18 by 7, the remainder is 4. To write the elements of first row, we will multiply the elements of top border row by 4 and then divide the resulting element by 7 and then write the remainders in fourth row. 4 into 1 is 4. The remainder is 4. 4 2s are 8. When we divide 8 by 7, the remainder is 1. 4 3s are 12. When we divide 12 by 7, the remainder is 5. 4 4s are 16. When we divide 16 by 7, the remainder is 2. 4 5s are 20. When we divide 20 by 7, the remainder is 6. 4 6 are 24. When we divide 24 by 7, the remainder is 3. To write the elements of fifth row, we will multiply each element of top border row by 5 and then divide the resulting number by 7 and write down the remainders in the fifth row. 5 into 5, 1 is 5. 5 into 2 is 10. When we divide 10 by 7, the remainder is 3. 5 3s are 15. When we divide it by 7, the remainder is 1. 5 4s are 20. When we divide it by 7, the remainder is 6. 5 5s are 25. When we divide it by 7, the remainder is 4. When we divide 5 into 6, 5 6 are 30. The remainder is, when we divide it by 7, the remainder is 2. To write the elements of sixth row, we multiply elements of top border row by 6 and then divide the resulting number by 7 and write down the remainders. 6 into 1 is 6. 6 2s are 12. When we divide it by 7, the remainder is 5. 6 3s are 18. When we divide 18 by 7, the remainder is 4. 6 4s are 24. When we divide 24 by 7, the remainder is 3. 6 5s are 30. When we divide it by 7, the remainder is 2. 6 6 are 36. When it divided by 7, the remainder is 1. Now we observe that first row is identical with the top border row. Second row is not identical with the top border row. Third row is also not identical with the top border row. Fourth, fifth, sixth rows are also not identical with the top border row. So first row is identical with the top border row. So element on its extreme left is 1. So 1 is the identity element of a group. So we locate this identity element in each row. In first row, the identity element is in the first column. In second row, identity element is in the fourth column. In third row, identity element is in the fifth column. In fourth row, identity element is in the second column. In fifth row, identity element is in the third column. In sixth row, identity element is in the sixth column. Again, to find the inverse of 1, we see that element above identity element in the top border row is 1. So inverse of 1 is 1. For inverse of 2, the identity element is in the fourth column. Element above 1 in fourth column is 4 in the top border row. So inverse of 2 is 4. For inverse of 3, we have identity element in the fifth column. And in the fifth column, element above 1 in top border row is 5. So inverse of 3 is 5. Now for the inverse of 4, identity element is in the second column and element above 1 in second column is 2 in the top border row. Therefore inverse of 4 is 2. For the inverse of 5, the identity element is in the third column and element above 1 in third column is 3. So inverse of 5 is 3. Inverse of 6, identity element is in the last column. Element above 1 in top border row in last column is 6. So inverse of 6 is 6. Further, we observe that elements in the main diagonal are 1, 4, 2, 2, 4 and 1. Element on the right of 1 in first row are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And element below 1 in first column are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which are identical. Element on the left of 4 in second row are 6, 1, 3, 5, and below 4 in second column are 6, 1, 3, 5, which are also identical. Element on the right of 2 in third column are 5, 1, 4, and in the row are also 5, 1, 4. So these elements are identical, 5, 1, 4 here and 5, 1, 4 here. Element on the right of 2 in the fourth row are 6 and 3, and in the fourth column are also 6 and 3 below 2. So these are also identical. Element on the right of 4 in the fourth row is 2, and in the last column is 2. To the right is also 2, below it also 2. So these are identical. So this composition table is symmetrical about the main diagonal. Also, all the elements of this composition table are the elements of a group G. So now we come to the properties of a group. Since each element in the table belongs to the set, so G is closed with respect to multiplication modulo 7. For associativity, the elements of G satisfy associativity with respect to multiplication modulo 7, as multiplication modulo 7 is always associative. Since first row of the table is identical with the top border row, the element 1 on the extreme left side of this row is the identity element in G. See, first row is identical with the top border row, and element on its extreme left is 1. For the existence of inverse, we have discussed inverse of 1 is 1, inverse of 1 is 1, inverse of 2 is 4, inverse of 3 is 5, inverse of 4 is 2, and inverse of 5 is 3, inverse of 6 is 6. Since the composition table is symmetrical about the main diagonal, multiplication modulo 7 is commutative in G. Also, the number of elements in a group G is equal to 6. Hence, the given set G is a finite abelian group of order 6 with respect to multiplication modulo 7. Some application of this modulo system. In theoretical mathematics, modular arithmetic is one of the foundation of number theory and is also used in group theory, ring theory, knot theory, and abstract algebra. In applied mathematics, it is used in computer algebra, cryptography, computer science, chemistry, and the visual and musical arts. A very practical application is to calculate checksums with the serial number identifiers. For example, International Standard Book Number ISBN uses modulo 11 for 10-digit ISBN or modulo 10 for 13-digit ISBN arithmetic for error detection. Similarly, international bank account numbers make use of modulo 97 arithmetic to spot user input errors in a bank account numbers. In mathematics, modular arithmetic is a system of arithmetic for integers where numbers wrap around when reaching a certain value called the modulus. This modern approach to modular arithmetic was developed by Carl Friedrich Gauss in a book published in 1801. Thank you.